So the rationale behind the changes is that basically there are a lot of things at the moment that have to go through the planning system that really can be covered by permitted developments. They are very, very rarely challenged or very, very rarely refused. So what we need to do is ensure that the planning system is constantly kept updated and that it's relevant to the modern world, and that's what these changes do.
In basic terms, does this mean for somebody who simply wants to maybe replace windows, doors, etc., they'll no longer require planning permission?
It does, and there's things like, for instance, improving provisions in relation to decking and fencing height. They haven't been changed for a long time. Also, we're now seeing more and more air source heat pumps coming through. At the moment, the planning requirements on them are quite restrictive. So it's relaxing some of the restrictions in relation to air source heat pumps, and also allowing for the alteration, for instance, in things such as the size of windows and installation of doors, and also increasing the flexibility in relation to things like roof lights. So all stuff that you would find in a modern build.
Take a homeowner who maybe puts their property on the market for sale, but during the conveyancing process, they find they don't have approval for a specific minor works that's happened in the past. From March the 1st, that particular thing wouldn't require planning approval anyway. Would they still have to seek retrospective consent?
So in terms of those that haven't sought consent previously, obviously it would depend upon the time period as to when that is. There's different rules as to how long ago it actually was. So it would depend upon that.
Now, there's been a lot of criticism of the planning process in recent times, not least from the construction sector. Do you think the changes announced will be enough to allay their concerns?
So I think it's a step in the right direction. And the thing with planning is it's a very fine balancing act. We've got to ensure that things remain relevant and up to date, but equally it can't just become a free-for-all. We've got to actually ensure that there is still rigour in the system and that we don't just allow all sorts of developments that wouldn't necessarily fit in. So this is looking at things that have already been gone through, types of things that have gone through the planning system that very, very rarely get knocked back. And so therefore making them permitted development. But it's ensuring as well that we still have a rigorous planning system to ensure that there is fairness in the process.
Now, and you're satisfied that this will be enough to significantly speed up the planning procedures and release what is an apparent log jam in the system?
Yes, I think that what it will do is there's a lot of the what I would term minor things that have been going through planning that people get very frustrated over, and quite rightly, that have been held up when people know that 9 times out of 10 they're going to be approved anyway. They're just sat there waiting for them to be approved. They actually now know that they will be able to get on and get the work done.
It will also save them a fair bit of money because planning is an expensive process, isn't it? And for small scale changes to a property, sometimes people may be put off by the cost.
They can be, and of course, like I say, what I tend to always get fed back to me as an MHK is more a frustration with the process. That people find the process isn't always easy to navigate, and that it's something they feel is a minor change, but they're still having to go for planning for it. So these permitted development orders will hopefully speed things up and also move us into the modern world.
And as you rightly say, this is very much a balancing act in terms of planning. How long's the Planning Office been working on the changes, and are they likely to be the last, or maybe is this just a first raft of alterations?
So planning is constantly evolving. We will always keep looking at where we are and anything new that's coming through, and also looking at what we need to do, like I say, about speeding up the system, while at the same time keeping that rigour in the system that's necessary. So these changes are ones that have been identified. We've also gone out to public consultation on these changes as well before they actually came in, and now is the time we can actually drive them forward.
Thank you for making it to the end of the Manx Radio newscast. You are obviously someone with exquisite taste. May I politely suggest you might want to subscribe to this and a wide range of Manx Radio podcasts at your favourite podcast provider, so our best bits will magically appear on your smartphone. Thank you.